Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of PHT TV. As you can see, I got some Heresy's in front of me, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We've seen a few questions come through about what amps do you recommend, what sounds great with these speakers. Today we're going to be unboxing the first amp on this show, one amp specifically. Today we're going to be unboxing the Cary SLI-80 HS. And what that HS on the end means is Heritage Series. The SLI-80 has been bringing you amazing sound for several years now, but more recently Cary's actually adopted the HS version, which allows you to customize your amp to match your Heritage Series speakers. All of that said, I am super excited to dive into this box because I've never seen this amp in person, so let's go ahead and get to it. Always keep your knife kind of sideways. Extra careful when cutting open the box. All right, my box is cut. Let's see what's inside. What a tease. There is another box inside of this box. Ugh. Maybe we'll get a view of the amp this time. That's a little bit better. A lot of packing, and understandably so. There is a very fragile unit here, so you have to be extra careful. Now, first out of the box, we have all the components. Let's go ahead and pull off this padding and push it off to the side. All right. Before we break out the actual amp, we do have the quick start setup guide. Now, essentially what this quick start guide is telling you is that every piece, every component of this amp has been hand selected to give you the best sound quality possible. Each component has a left and a right and an ID number on it in order to help you put the tubes in the exact place as you are building this system. It also states not to handle these tubes with your bare hands. And essentially what that is it's kind of like a halogen bulb. You get the oils and everything from your skin touching the bulbs. It causes them to run hotter and could actually cause damage to your system. So always be sure to wear gloves. And they've actually included a set of gloves to wear during unpacking. So I'm gonna put these on now. All right, so now that I'm wearing these gloves, I'm gonna go ahead and continue unpacking. So also in the baggie with the quick start guide is your owner's manual, your warranty registration, as well as a thank you letter and some extra fuses. So make sure you keep that bag and everything inside it. I'm gonna go ahead and toss it off to the side for now. And with my white gloves on, let's get to unpacking. Now, this is not a light unit by any means, so be careful when handling it. I'm gonna push off to the side here, set her down on the floor, and get rid of this box. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take off the plastics here. Just getting rid of some extra packing materials here. This is beautiful. Before I go ahead and assemble this unit, I'm gonna pick it up and give you a look at what it looks like, a close-up look here. SLI-80 Heritage Series. Like I said before, guys, I was super excited to unbox this unit and to see it come in. So I actually had a table commissioned specifically designed to seat this amp. So before we start assembling, I'm gonna get that table so it's a little easier for us to work on. All right, so I've actually pulled my other camera a little bit closer so you can kind of see what's going on a little bit. So the first thing that I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna line up the units based on where they're gonna go on the amp. So what Cary's actually done is they've actually labeled them as a left and a right unit in order to show you what goes where. So I'm gonna set all these aside and you'll see a model number. You can actually see that written on the amp. So that'll kind of line it up for you and tell you where it goes. And they've actually even labeled the output tubes as 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can see 1, this is a 3, so this is gonna go in slot number 3 here. This is a 1, so it's gonna go right here. 2, so it's gonna go in this slot right here, and then 4. So now that I've got that lined up, this is essentially gonna be the layout going forward. So now we can actually, with our gloves on, being very careful, go ahead and start unpacking. So when you're lining these up, when you are setting these in place, there's actually a guide point here. So you gotta make sure and line that guide point up with where you are putting them. And then push those down in place. All right, now that we've got the unit assembled, let's take a look in these other little bags here. Now, first off, we are gonna have quite possibly the most well-packaged remote I have ever seen in my life. That is a whole lot of bubble wrap for a remote. And in this next bag, essentially just cables all together. All right, now that we've got it assembled, let's go ahead and talk about some options that you have here. So this particular unit, the difference between the SLI-80 and the SLI-80 HS is the fact that it is a Heritage series and can match your Heritage speakers. So that's where these Heresies come into play back here. We are gonna unbox a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and take off these gloves. So dig into the bottom here. We have 3 more boxes. Now, as I said before, the SLI-80 has been around for a while, but the SLI-80 HS came into play when Cary partnered up with Klipsch and started designing custom panels for it to match the Heritage series speakers. So since I have the Klipsch Heresies in a cherry right now, we're gonna start by taking out these cherry side panels. And these are the cherry side panels that will go on the side of your amp. If we look at our speakers here, these perfectly match our cherry Heresy. All right, so an already beautiful design from Klipsch and an already beautiful design from Cary, just taken to the next level by adding that ability to customize it to match your speakers. That about covers the unboxing of the Cary SLI-80 HS. We are not going to turn this guy on today, and the reason for that is later on we're going to compare this amp to some other amps and see how they stack up and compare next to each other. As always, be sure to contact Paducah Home Theater to pick up your very own Cary SLI-80 HS or anything in the Heritage line. And we will see you again next week for another episode of PHT TV.